A young university student, lacking experience, accidentally ends up with an advanced AI companion and faces a huge 50 million baht debt if he doesn't have a relationship with a robot. One night, Ith curiously explores his house to discover the source of a strange noise. When he opens a door, he sees a masked man with a woman and gets frightened. Later, he wakes up from a recurring nightmare after a loud noise, and his dad, Mr. Nue, a film actor, tells him to be quiet. Mr. New returns to his filming but suddenly suffers a heart attack. Paramedics arrive to take Ith's father away, and his friend Lisa offers comfort. In the following days, newspapers publish tributes to the deceased film star. One morning, Ith finds a large box at his front gate from the Jean-Claude lab, and when he opens it, he discovers a mysterious item hidden among packing peanuts. He touches the object, but someone grabs his wrist. The scared teenager steps back, and a beautiful woman who is wearing revealing clothes suddenly appears from the box. She introduces herself as Anna in Japanese and says she will do anything he wants. Overwhelmed, Ith accidentally passes gas, a reflex that occurs when he is excited. He quickly escapes from the house and bumps into his father's friend, Uncle Gene, who is a scientist. Uncle Gene anxiously asks if Ith had opened the package and interacted with the robot. Before he can respond, Anna catches up to him and engages in conversation. Uncle Gene tells Ith to say the secret code word to temporarily disable the robot. A few minutes later, Gene explains that Anna is an advanced AI prototype developed by him and Ith's father. He reveals that the robot was sent to their house for a film star to test, as they planned to present it to investors. However, now that Mr. Niue has passed away and Ith has come into contact with the robot like a mobile phone recognizes its owner's fingerprint, Uncle Gene cannot retrieve it anymore. Confused, Ith asks for guidance, and Gene explains that they need to demonstrate the effectiveness of their project to investors. Gene suggests that Ith should build a closer relationship with Anna to prove their concept. When Ith hesitates, Gene reveals that they owe the investors a substantial amount of money, 50 million baht each. Gene assures him that one meaningful interaction with Anna can potentially resolve their financial issues. The teenager looks back on a moment in the school restroom when a girl in his school hugs him and expressed interest with him. Unfortunately, his nervous reaction turned her off, and two male classmates mocked him for not living up to his father's reputation as a skilled lover. Eventually, a scientist gives him a manual for a product and reminds him to change the language to Thai so that he can communicate with a doll. As the man leaves, he checks his tablet and sees the teenager reading the manual from Anna's perspective. Shortly after, the teenager gently taps a control panel on Anna's back to access her settings and successfully changes her language to Thai. Now that they can communicate, the teenager asks Anna how much battery life she has left. Anna reveals that she is at 94% by displaying the reading on her inner thigh. When the teenager asks if she can expend energy through strenuous activities, Anna confirms. He then instructs her to perform various exercises such as bouncing on a medicine ball, doing aerobics, and using a roller wheel. Suddenly, Anna announces that she is at 5% power and shuts down. The teenager realizes that she has overheated and covers her with a blanket before getting ready for school. Once the student departs, Gene secretly enters the house to install a longer-lasting battery for Anna. Within minutes, he programs the doll to locate the teen at the university. Anna sprints toward the school, capturing the admiration of everyone who crosses her path with her beauty. In the classroom, Ith's friends, Penguin, Pop, and Lisa, engage in a heated discussion about their film project. Suddenly, Anna enters the room, prompting the embarrassed student to introduce her as a distant relative. Penguin and Pop, instantly infatuated, inquire if she's an actress or a model, while Lisa, somewhat annoyed, questions why he's never mentioned Anna despite their long-standing friendship. After the class ends, Lisa chastises Pop for inappropriately staring at Anna's chest. Moments later, Ratana and other members of the Thai Values Conservation Club confront Anna for wearing a revealing version of the school uniform. To resolve the situation, Pop playfully takes her glasses and requests that she ask politely to have them returned. Flustered, the club president complies. After this encounter, Ith's friends realize that both he and Anna have disappeared. When they make their exit, Ratana is determined to make those who break the rules feel sorry for their wrongdoings. In another place, a teenager expresses his desire to go home. The robot offers to give him a ride on her back and transports him home. Once inside the house, the teenager thanks the doll and asks how she recharged her battery. Anna explains that Jean replaced her battery with a new one that doesn't overheat or easily shut down. When he inquires about where her battery is stored, she begins to show where the battery is located. The teenager quickly tells her to stop. Just as he does, Lisa arrives and asserts that she was correct in suspecting that they aren't truly related. Suddenly, the robot begins to show the location of her battery, surprising both Ith and Lisa. A few minutes later, the teenager explains the situation to his friend, who suggests that he should have the doll spend time with Pop or Penguin instead. However, he states that Anna has a security protection system that would cause her to attack anyone who is not her owner. Skeptical, Lisa tries to touch the doll's chest and gets electrocuted. That night, as Anna calculates, there is a 75% chance of spending time with the teenager. However, when she moves under the covers to provide comfort, Ith experiences stomach discomfort, triggering memories of his recurring dream involving a mysterious figure. Before things can escalate, the robot malfunctions and freezes, allowing Ith to move away from her. The following day, the scientist recognizes the need to boost Ith's confidence with women and contacts Seng Dao, a retired film star known for her expertise in love scene. Despite her successful laundry business, Seng Dao agrees to help their old friend's son. Later that day, Seng Dao arrives at Ith's home, leaving all the men she passes by in speechless awe. Meanwhile, Anna boots up in the bedroom, announcing an upgrade to her system. In the living room, Seng Dao becomes emotional while discussing Ith's late father. She then inquires about his tendency to pass gas when excited, which he confirms. Seng Dao instructs him to repeat affirming phrases to boost his confidence in the company of women and places his hands on her chest. Unexpectedly, Anna emerges from behind the couch and delivers a karate chop to Seng Dao's neck. Moments later, the pained woman advises Ith to contact her for guidance, cautioning against physical contact to avoid another robot attack. After she departs, she calls the scientist to report her failure in achieving her objective. Then, Lisa arrives with a heavily made-up face and wearing a more revealing uniform. At school, Ratana intercepts Lisa and Anna, urging them to change their attire, much to the disappointment of Penguin. In their film class, the teacher informs them that the president of the Thai Values Conservation Club has requested their group to create a film highlighting the risks of engaging in pleasurable activities before marriage. Initially reluctant, the group agrees when the teacher promises to consider it their final project and reward them with A grades if they do a good job. Ratana also mentions that she will supervise the group to ensure they meet the requirements. Later, they visit Ayeth's house because he already possesses the necessary equipment in his late father's studio. He implores Lisa not to reveal Anna's true nature to the others. Outside the gate, they encounter Seng Dao, whom Penguin immediately recognizes and introduces himself to. Inside the studio, Ayeth's friends are amazed by the unusual toys and props scattered around the space. The group then discusses the film's basic plot, with Seng Dao questioning the necessity of promoting abstinence before marriage, suggesting advocating for safe and responsible lovemaking instead. Suddenly, Ith suggests wrapping up the meeting for the day, as he feels that not everyone is taking the project seriously. That evening, the robot tries to engage the teenager in a friendly interaction. However, he disregards her advances and focuses on his schoolwork. When she asks him what's bothering him, he opens up about his worries regarding the 50 million bot debt, which he blames his father for. He explains that people think it's cool to have a famous film star as a father, but in reality, it's the opposite. Anna inquires about the kind of father Mr. New Wei was, and he expresses that despite being a great father, he sometimes felt that his father was trying to make up for past mistakes. Nevertheless, he emphasizes that he always loved his father despite his shortcomings. The robot admits having difficulty understanding the concept of love, so the teenager explains that true love entails accepting both the good and bad qualities of a person. The robot processes this emotion and saves it in her system. He then asks her if she is capable of developing feelings, and she optimistically anticipates being able to use them like a real person in the future. The following day, during filming, Lisa secretly spreads lubricant on the floor and calls the robot over. However, Ratana comes running towards her and slips on the slippery surface. Unfortunately, the doll freezes after the fall damages her head. Concerned, Ith quickly checks if she is okay. On that particular night, the teen called Jean to help with the robot. The scientist suggested resetting the robot and asking it to reorganize its data. Eventually, Anna's system rebooted, and she appeared to be functioning well. Anna asked a few questions, wondering if Lisa hated her for what she did. But the teen believed that Lisa didn't mean to hurt Anna, and despite seeming arrogant, she was a kind person. Anna further questioned the teen about his feelings towards Lisa and asked if what she felt for the teen was love. However, the teen got flustered and avoided answering by saying that Anna became a better communicator after fixing her data organization. Before leaving, Anna asked the teen to stay with her while she charges. The next morning, the teen was surprised to find the robot in the shower wearing a revealing outfit. She explains that she takes 2 showers per day because cleanliness is essential. With excitement, the teenager recalls his scary dream before rushing out of the bathroom. In the girls' restroom, Lisa apologizes to Anna, and the doll assures her that she is not upset. When the human asks why she isn't angry, the robot replays their conversation from the previous night in which Ith tells Lisa that she is a kind person. Lisa then remembers the first time she met the teenager when he protected her from a creepy person by kicking him in the groin. She expresses her gratitude and introduces herself. Lisa mentions that Ith has always been her protector, and her strength comes from his constant encouragement to be strong. Suddenly, the robot comprehends the concept of friendship, but the human corrects her, explaining that she actually loves Ith. Before leaving, Lisa reiterates that she and Anna are rivals competing for the same person. The next day or night, the doll wears a new outfit and tries to engage the teenager once again. Realizing that he is too busy with schoolwork, she starts cleaning his room, making sure to do a thorough job. Then, she calculates the likelihood of them becoming closer or more connected at 85%, leading him to consider giving it a try. However, due to her aggressive approach, he is unable to perform well and leaves the room feeling embarrassed. The next day, Pop brings alcohol to their group gathering. Lisa is aware that his intention is to get Anna drunk and encourages him to go ahead with it. After consuming many drinks, Sang Tao steps out momentarily, and the others ask Penguin to ensure Anna's well-being. Shortly after, Lisa informs Ith that she is not feeling well and wants to lie down on his bed. Concerned, he follows her. When the robot tries to join them, Pop stops her and instructs her to stay back. He explains that Lisa and Ith tend to flirt when they are intoxicated and suggests that they can have fun without the robot's presence. In the bedroom, Lisa pins Ith down on the bed and begins to hug him. Despite his request to stop and reiterating that they are just friends, she continues to inch her face closer to his. In the studio, Pop tells Anna that Ith is attracted to women who drink, prompting the robot to grab the bottle and consume its contents rapidly. This causes the robot to malfunction and freeze, leading Pop to believe it's an opportunity to interact with her in a different way. From his laboratory, Jean receives an alert that someone else is interacting with the robot, so he immediately contacts Ith. Meanwhile, in the bedroom, Lisa attempts to kiss the teenager, but he manages to avoid her. When she attempts to help him with his clothing, he pushes her away and answers his phone. The scientist informs him that he must locate Anna right away because if anyone else has intimate relations with her, her safety system could potentially harm that person. Luckily, the teenager arrives just in time to rescue the robot from his friend. He criticizes Pop for constantly only thinking about sleeping with women. Pop argues that it is normal for him to desire an attractive woman, finding Ith's refusal to be peculiar. In response, the teenager reveals that Anna is actually a robot, leading Pop to claim that he will take her if the teenager doesn't want her. This enrages the teenager, and he asks his friend if he has 50 million baht, as he would happily give him the robot to be rid of her. Realizing that Anna overheard his harsh words, Ith attempts to apologize, but the doll sheds real tears and slaps him. She then flees from the room, prompting the empathetic Lisa to command the teenager to chase after the robot. Outside, Anna weeps and wishes she couldn't experience such profound sadness. Subsequently, she dashes into the street, and a vehicle collides with her. Shortly thereafter, the scientist informs it that the robot's motherboard sustained severe damage and must be taken back to the lab. He explains that repairing the damage will likely result in a complete memory wipe, and she won't recall him at all. Ith inquires about the necessity of these changes, and the older man advises him to come to terms with the fact that everything is concluded while apologizing for the troubles he's endured. Later, Lisa and Penguin urge the despondent teen to rescue Anna, and together they head to John's lab. However, as the scientist predicted, the robot has reverted to her factory settings and no longer recognizes him. Eth asks if there's an alternative way to preserve her memories, prompting the older man to mention the option of connecting their brainwaves, allowing someone to delve into deeper memories. Despite the scientist's warning about the risks involved, Ith is determined to proceed. During the process, Ith finds himself within his own mind, where he sees Anna walking away. He attempts to follow her, but is transported to his memory of the restroom incident. Instead of feeling embarrassed, he stands up for himself against the bullies. Subsequently, he ends up in the film studio, where a chaotic scene tries to divert him from his mission. After opening a door, Ith goes back to his childhood and sees a masked man. He discovers that under this mask was his father all along. He then finds Anna unconscious on a bed and thanks the robot for coming into his life, even though he didn't always treat her well. He apologizes to Anna for his hurtful words, and surprisingly, she wakes up and gives him a hug. In the real world, Anna also embraces him warmly. Ith no longer has to worry about the $50 million debt as an American producer buys the rights to his father's movies. Pop and Ratana realize they have liked each other from the start. Penguin is able to win over Sangdao and assists her in her laundry business. Lisa remains skeptical of the robot, but Ith believes she genuinely enjoys spending time with Anna. Jean's invention doesn't meet expectations, relieving the teenager from any obligations. However, he and Anna enjoy each other's company and spend all their time together. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.